Hello students, welcome to the online lecture of class 6 science. Today we will continue our chapter number 4. 4.2 Properties of material. Have you ever wondered why a tumbler is not made with a piece of cloth? Okay, the tumbler which we are using for taking bath. Okay, why it is not made up of cloth? What is the reason? Recall our experiment with piece of cloth in chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 fabric, fiber to fabric, in which we have seen the cloth is made up of numerous number of fibers which are collectively weaved or knitted to make a cloth. So probably small holes will be there in the cloth. Okay, and also keep in mind that we generally use a tumbler to keep a liquid. Therefore, would it not be silly if we were to make a tumbler out of cloth? Figure 4.2. See what will happen if you will store water in the cloth. The water will drain out easily. Okay, this is one general common sense. Okay, if you will collect water in this cloth, it will drain out due to the small pores in the cloth. Okay, what we need for a tumbler is glass, plastic, metal, or other such materials that will hold water. Similarly, it would not be wise to use paper like material for cooking vessel. Okay, because if we use paper and we heat it up, then it will take fire and it will burn out easily. So we will not use paper. Okay, appearance. Appearance. Material usually look different from each other. Okay, material usually look different from each other. Obviously, wood, plastic, glass, all we can see they are different from each other, property wise and from appearance wise. Wood looks very different from iron. Iron appears different from copper or aluminium. Okay, iron is generally not shiny, but copper or aluminium steel is more shinier than the iron. We can identify from their shyness. At the same time, there may be some similarity between iron, copper, and aluminium that are not there in the wood. Okay, now let's see activity number 3. Activity number 3. Collect some pieces of different materials: papers, cardboards, woods, copper wire, aluminium sheets, chalk. Okay, we have to collect small pieces of different material, whichever present in your home. Okay, this activity we have to do in our school, but right now we can't do. So, as much as possible, you can do at your home. Do any of this appear shiny? Separate the shiny material into a group. Okay, if you take steel or copper wire, aluminium sheet, which will look shiny here. Now observe, as the teacher cuts each material into two pieces, and look at the freshly cut surface. Okay, right now we can't do that, but if you do at your home, then you can see like this. If a copper wire is taken and it is cutted into two parts, you can see this this circle will be more shinier than this. Okay, what do you notice? I have told you what we will notice if we cut this. Okay, does the freshly cut surface of some of this material appear shiny? Yes. Include this object also in the group of shiny materials. Okay, this activity is not possible, but I am just explaining. Okay, do you notice such a shine or luster? Luster is another word used for shine. Okay, do you notice such a shine or luster in other materials? Cut them anyway as you can. Okay, if it possible, we have to cut it and see. shine is there or not. Repeat this in the class with as many as material as possible and make a list of those with and without luster or shine. Instead of cutting, you can rub the surface of material with the sandpaper to see if it has luster or not. Materials Materials that have such luster are usually metals. Okay, the material which gives us shine when we scratch it or when we cut it are metals. Iron, copper, aluminium, and gold are example of metals. Okay, remember it. Iron, copper, aluminium, and gold are example of metals. Some metals often lose their shine and appears dull because of the action of air and moisture on them. Okay. We therefore notice the luster only on their freshly cut surfaces. When you visit an ironsmith or workshop, look out for the freshly cut surfaces of the metal rods to see if they have luster or not. Okay. Luster or not. Okay, so after this activity our main topic starts, hardness. Okay, in this activity what we have did, we have classified the material, we have arranged our materials. Now, hardness, what do you mean by hardness? Let's see. When you press different materials with your hands, okay, when you press different materials between your hands, some of them may be hard to compress. Okay, when you have to apply more pressure, okay, to compress it, while other can easily compressed. Take a metal key and try to scratch with it. Okay, take a metal key and try to scratch with it. The surface of a piece of a wood, aluminium, a piece of stone, a nail, candle, chalk, any other material or object, you can easily scratch some of the materials, while some cannot be scratched so easily. Okay, if you take keys or a iron rod, you can't compress it or you can't scratch it easily. Okay, other than that, you if you take any soft materials like cotton, sponge, okay, then it will be easily compressed. Okay, so the materials which can which can be compressed or scratched easily are called soft. Okay, the materials which can be compressed or scratched easily are called soft, while some other materials which are different to compress are called hard. Okay, I have given you example of steel rod. For example, a cotton or a sponge is soft, okay, while iron is hard. In appearance, material can have different properties like luster, hardness, rough or smooth. Okay, can you think of the other properties that describe the appearance of material? This is the question which you have to do by yourself. Answer is also given in PDF. You can refer if you don't know. Okay. So what we have learned in this topic, hardness, the material which can be compressed easily by our hand pressure only. Okay. If we press cotton or sponge, it will be compressed. That material are called soft materials. Okay. And the materials which cannot be compressed easily are hard materials. Now, soluble or insoluble. The activity number 4. Soluble or insoluble. Activity number 4. Collect sample of some solid substance. such as sugar, salt, chalk powder, sand, and sawdust. Okay, you have to collect as many as solid substance like sugar, salt, chalk powder, and sawdust. Take 5 glass. Okay, take 5 glass or beakers. Fill each one of them about 2/3 with the water. You have to fill water in the glass. Okay, add a small amount of or a spoonful. Take a 1 spoon of sugar to the first glass, salt to the second, and similarly add small amount of other substances into the other glasses. Okay, so first what you have to do, you have to collect the sample of some solid substance such as sugar, salt, chalk powder, and sawdust. Take 5 glasses or a beaker. Fill each of them about 2/3 with the water. Add a small amount of or a spoonful amount of sugar to the first glass, salt to the second, and similarly add small amount of other substance into the other glasses. Stir the content of each with them with a spoon. Okay, you have to first take a beaker, add a 2/3 amount of water, then add the substances, and then stir it well. Wait for the few minutes. Okay, now give some time to the solution which you have made. Observe what happened to the substance. Add it to the water. Okay, here in the table you can see different list of substances are given, and you have to write which substance disappear in the water and does not disappear in the water. Okay, for example, if you add salt. Okay, take an example. In a glass beaker you add salt. After stirring well, the salt will disappear completely in the water. So disappear completely in the water. So you can say that salt is soluble in water. Similarly, if you will add chalk powder, if you will add chalk powder in the glass beaker containing water, and if you will stir it properly, then also chalk powder will not disappear in the water. You will see the chalk powder particles in the water. So you can say that chalk powder is insoluble substance in the water. You will notice that substance have completely disappeared or dissolved in water. We say that these substances are soluble in water, as I have explained in the example of salt. Okay, salt will be soluble in water. Other substance do not mix with the water and do not disappear even after we stir for a long time. These substances are insoluble in water. Okay, so as we have discussed, chalk powder will be insoluble in water. Water plays an important role. Water plays an important role in our functioning of our body because it can dissolve a large number of substance. Do liquid also dissolve in water? Okay, try it, huh? And do try to dissolve petrol or kerosene in a small quantity in water, and we will see what will be the answer or what will be this reaction in the next lecture. From next lecture we will continue activity number 5. Thank you very much.